You have seen stories like this before. Real faces, real rooms, real light. But some feelings are too layered for a photograph to hold. So from here, we tell it differently. This is Meera's story, and it will be told the way feelings actually look, not the way cameras see them. Meera has always been a woman who explains. She explains her silences before anyone asks about them. She explains her tone before anyone misreads it. She explains why she is hurt, why she needs time, why she said no, before the other person has even decided whether they care. From the outside, it looks like oversharing, but from the inside, it is something older, something quieter. It is fear, not the loud kind, the kind that lives under the skin, the kind that was taught to her long ago by moments she barely remembers, moments when being misunderstood came with consequences. So she learned early, explain yourself first, be clear enough, be soft enough, give enough, and maybe this time they will see you correctly. She is not weak. She is wounded in a way that made her careful. And for a long time, she believed that if she just explained herself well enough, the world would finally feel safe. But no matter how clearly she speaks, something always gets twisted. She says, "I need a little space right now." They hear. "She doesn't care about us." She says, "That hurt me." They hear. "She is trying to make us feel guilty." She says, "I just need you to understand where I'm coming from." They say, "You're always so sensitive." And so she goes back, tries again, softer words this time, more context, a gentler tone, a longer message. She tells herself, maybe I explained it wrong, maybe they just need more. But here is what she does not yet see. Some people are not confused, they are comfortable. Her guilt is convenient. Her over-explaining is a door they have learned to walk through whenever they want control. They are not misunderstanding her by accident. They are misunderstanding her because it works. She is so tired she can feel it in her breath. Not dramatic tired. Not the kind you talk about, the quiet kind. The kind that makes you pause in the middle of a sentence and forget why you were speaking at all. She drafts messages at midnight and deletes them before morning. She replays conversations in the shower, not to enjoy them, but to find the moment she went wrong. She rehearses explanations for things she has not even been accused of yet. She is always one step ahead of the next misunderstanding, always pre-apologizing, always pre-defending, always managing perceptions she was never responsible for managing. She is not living her life anymore. She is constantly preparing her case for a trial no one told her she was in. And slowly, without meaning to, she has started to disappear. The version of her that used to speak freely. The version that used to trust her own feelings without needing a second opinion. That woman is still inside her, but she is very, very tired. And then one ordinary day, something stops her. Someone says something unfair about her, something she did not do, a version of her that does not exist. And she opens her phone the way she always does, fingers already moving toward the explanation, already building the case, already searching for the words that will finally make them see. But something in her, something quiet and exhausted and very, very old, just stops. Not dramatically, not with anger, just stops. She sits with the phone in her hand, and for the first time in a long time, she does not type anything. She just breathes. And in that pause, in that small, fragile silence, she hears a question she has never let herself ask before. Do they actually want to understand me? Or have they already decided who I am? She sits with the question. It is uncomfortable, but it is honest. She thinks about every explanation she has ever given this person, every message, every conversation, every careful, soft, patient word. And she asks herself, did any of it change anything? Did they ever come back and say, I understand now, I see you? Or did they always find another angle, another reason, another way to make her feel like the problem? And that is when she understands something that changes her quietly from the inside. People who want to understand you do not need you to bleed yourself dry, explaining. They just need you to speak, and they lean in. People who don't want to understand you will take your clearest truth and find a way to use it against you. This is not cynicism, this is clarity. And it is the first real breath she has taken in years. But choosing herself does not feel the way she expected. It feels like guilt. She does not reply. And it feels cruel. Even though she has done nothing cruel, she does not explain herself this time. And it feels cold. Even though she is the warmest person in the room, she starts to wonder, am I being unfair? Am I giving up too easily? What if they just need one more explanation? This is the guilt phase, and it is the hardest part, because she is good, and good people are trained to believe that guilt means they did something wrong. But slowly she begins to understand. Guilt is not always a signal that you have crossed a line. Sometimes it is just the pain of finally drawing one. She has spent so long without boundaries that having one feels like cruelty. But it is not cruelty. It is just unfamiliar, and unfamiliar is not the same as wrong. She does not slam a door. She simply stops leaving hers open for everyone. She still explains herself. This is important. To the friend who asks gently, she opens up completely. To the person who comes with curiosity instead of accusation, she speaks freely. To herself in quiet moments, in journals, in honest reflection, she is endlessly honest. She did not become cold. She did not become unreachable. She did not decide that all people are the same. She just learned to read something she used to ignore. The feeling in the room before she speaks. The quality of the silence before she opens her heart. Is this a place where my truth will be held with care? Or is this a place where my truth will be filed away as evidence? She explains where there is love. She clarifies where there is safety. She speaks where there is genuine willingness to understand. And everywhere else, she stays kind. She stays warm. She just keeps her heart for herself. Peace, she finds, is not the absence of misunderstanding. It is the absence of the need to fix everyone. There will always be people who misread her. There will always be someone who tells a version of her story that she does not recognize. There will always be rooms where no matter what she says, the verdict is already in. And now, she lets them. Not because she stopped caring about truth, but because she finally understands where her energy belongs. And it does not belong in courtrooms where she never had a fair judge. She walks differently now, not harder, not colder, not closed, just more herself. She speaks when it matters. She stays quiet when silence is the only honest answer. She moves through the world with a new understanding. Not every accusation needs a defense. Not every misunderstanding needs a correction. Not every person who questions you deserves access to the most tender parts of who you are. She is not perfectly healed. She still feels the pull sometimes, the old reflex to explain, to soften, to overgive. But now she pauses. She asks the question, and she chooses. That choice, small, quiet, repeated every day, is what peace actually looks like. Explain where there is love. Clarify where there is safety. Speak where there is willingness. But stop handing your heart to people who only want evidence against you. Your truth belongs where it is safe.